Thulian Starseed Ascension Astrology, 5D reintegrated soul path light codes. The definition of Thulian is beyond the bounds of the known world. It is the liminal space between the known and the unknown. It is your higher dimensional soul destiny. Thulian astrology readings are going to contain the combination of very powerful Vedic astrological charts, and on top of that, we are going to be tapping into the originators of Vedic astrology, which are higher dimensional light beings. Vedic astrology is a knowledge that has been channeled to human beings for thousands of years. And this knowledge originates from higher dimensional beings who want to help human beings, while they're in this third dimensional video game, find their highest and most powerful soul path. So what I'm doing with Thulian Starseed Ascension Astrology is I'm combining this science, and while I'm doing the reading, I am also channeling your higher dimensional spirit guides. And what ends up happening in these channeled readings, even when I'm not doing astrology, is that these light beings want to come forward and they want to tell you how you truly are in higher dimensions. And up until this 5D shift that we are now in the midst of, before this time, this was something that human beings could not know. And now, for the first time in human history, human beings are reintegrating with their higher dimensional self. It is incredibly powerful. What I have found just when I'm doing the channeled readings is we find out not only about people's past human lives, but we find out who they are and who they've been in higher dimensions. And what you start to find out is that every single human being that has incarnated on planet Earth is actually an incredibly powerful deity in the higher dimensional realms. Why this is important now is because as we are continuing to shift into this higher frequency that people are calling 5D, we now get to reintegrate. We get to be human beings and also be completely conscious of our higher dimensional essence, and we get to act from that power. And so I thought that this would be a great idea, and I started thinking about doing channeled readings combined with Vedic astrological readings. And I went and I asked the light beings what I should call this practice, this service. And the name that came to me was Thulian Ascension Astrology. And I'd never heard of that term before. And so I went and looked it up. You can look it up. And the original meaning of that word meant beyond the bounds of the known world. And so what we're doing with these astrology readings is we are going beyond what you know about your identity, going beyond the known world of the third dimension. We are reintegrating. This is going to be a very powerful service. So let me tell you exactly what this is. What am I doing with this? So, as I said, the name of this astrology was given to me by light beings in meditation. It means beyond the bounds of the known world. I included the phrase starseed astrology because this really is, I think, the highest use of astrology. We're using Vedic astrology to explore your starseed 5D identity. During the reading, I will channel extraterrestrials so that they can explain to you your 5D soul purpose in your chart. The reading will consist of precise ascendant placement, your soul essence. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go look at the exact degree placement, which will show me where your ascendant is in the what they call the nakshatras. Now, the nakshatras are the star constellations, but in Vedic astrology, they are broken up into 4 sections. – Each section will tell us specifically the relationship of your soul identity to the meaning of that nakshatra. For instance, I'm in Magha Pada 1, the first section. And the definition of that is a king who lives with the higher dimensional light beings, the pitris, the originators of conscious life in the universe. And we've come to find out that's what light beings have been telling me for the past 2.5 years. It wasn't until I actually really honed in on the exact placement of my ascendant that turns out they were telling me the truth. So we are going to find that out for you. And when we do, the light beings can chime in and tell us where you've been in the cosmos, why that is important for you in your third dimensional and your higher dimensional expression. Okay, so we are going to also look at the Ketu in your chart and have the light beings chime in on that. This is your past life identity. Ketu represents in previous lives what you have mastered and what you have in reserve but is not something that's important to you in this life because you've already mastered it. But Ketu is also the window to the higher dimensional self. So the light beings will see what happens, but they can chime in and tell you what your past higher dimensional self was and why that's important for you now. We'll also take a look at Rahu, which is the soul learning focus in this life. So light beings can chime in. I'll tell you the meaning of it just by looking at the chart. And then if light beings have something they want to say about, here's what you need to learn in this life. Here's what you need to focus on. Here's what you need to be careful of. Here's what you're testing yourself with. Because Rahu is also testing your soul to see how far you can go into the third dimensional physical experience without getting lost. And so light beings can guide you with that. And that would be an amazing experience. And we'll look at the Atmakaraka. This is the soul karma lesson. And the Atmakaraka is the planet that has a very powerful karmic lesson for you. And so when you take a look at that, that will give you a window into what will give you the clearest, most problem-free path going forwards in terms of your interactions. For instance, my Atmakaraka is moon. And somebody who has moon as their Atmakaraka, it means you must treat the entire world as your family. So you're no longer somebody who can only deal with your mom and your dad, your sister, your brother, your wife, and your kids, your own, you little tiny family. No, you have the whole world is your family. So from a higher dimensional perspective, all conscious beings are my family because that is the karmic lesson. Now, if I avoid that, I will have major problems in life. So in order to have my life go smoothly, I listen to the lessons of the Atmakaraka. So the light beings will chime in and tell you how that will translate into your 5D essence. We will also take a look at your moon placement. This is your emotions, your meditative and intuitive powers. The moon is, in Vedic astrology, the mind. Now, bear in mind, when I use the word mind, I don't mean intellect or brain. In the Western understanding, when people use the word mind, it has been reduced to meaning the intellect or the brain. But that's something else. The mind is the ability to tap into intuitive forces, to be able to connect emotionally. It's a very powerful spiritual tool that we humans need. And so we'll take a look at that, and the light beings can chime in and tell you how to expand your meditative and intuitive powers. We'll take a look at your 9th house, which is the temple in your chart. And this will be an examination of the spiritual focus. So Jupiter represents your spiritual destiny. That's why in these pictures here, I put Jupiter there in the center of it, because Jupiter is the significator of true spirituality, of expanding beyond the third dimension. And so we will take a look at that, and light beings can step in and talk to you about how you can expand spiritually. We'll take a look at the placement of Jupiter, as I said, and any other channeled info about your pre-incarnation 5D identity purpose. So it's going to be more than just an astrology reading, and we will see how the light beings want to work. Now, I've had this experience when I do Vedic readings anyway. When I do Vedic astrological readings, I have in the past gotten information from the spiritual realm. But that was before I was consciously making myself a vehicle, a conduit for them to speak through me very clearly. So I am rolling this out. I'm very excited about it. And if you go to thulian.thunderwizard.com, you can get a half-price reading. And this will be the same as I've been doing with my channeled readings. The half-price reading, you will allow me to video the reading and upload it to my YouTube channel. So just to let you know, I have not changed the price for this. This is the exact same price that you pay if you want to get a Vedic astrological reading from me. If you want to save yourself some money and help others, then I will videotape your astrology reading and I will upload it to the channel. And of course, you'll be able to see it and have access to that reading as well. Now, if you don't want your reading to be shown publicly, then you can pay for the full price reading, which is a completely private reading, channeled Vedic astrology reading that you can record for your own personal study. You can learn more about that at thulian.thunderwizard.com. Now, I want to be clear about how to procure the reading. To do that, there's information at that website, but I need you to use the friends and family option, and the email will be there to which email you should send that money to, using the friends and family option. That way I don't have to pay a fee and I don't have to pay taxes, and so that allows me to give a more affordable price for it. And so all that information will be there. And yeah, that's it. This has been incredibly successful. The channeled sessions have been going extremely well. Channel.thunderwizard.com. You see some of the videos of the people that have gotten readings from me. We do have the ET Channeling Interdimensional Communication Zoom workshop, which has been very powerful. So for those that are chosen for that, I think this is something very special that people have to be chosen for. We're going to create a very powerful community of people that we can channel this energy even more powerfully than ever. The last Zoom workshop we did, the information that came through, I believe, changed the entire Earth. That's how powerful these are. All right, so that's it, my friends. This is Thulian Starseed Ascension Astrology, 5D reintegrated soul path light codes. Go check it out at thulian.thunderwizard.com.